Hey, everybody. Good evening. Here with Josh Eddy. We're going to talk about the notice of liability, how powerful it is, what Josh has done to it. He's added a few things. And Josh has also been over to had some conversation with the sheriff. He's also had some issues with road pirates. And so we're going to talk about all of that. And a lot more. So I'm going to ask Josh to read the entire notice of liability. We already discussed it. I want him to give commentary about what he feels about it, how he plans to use it, just so that I got a good idea and you folks get a good idea. And if there's anything I feel like should be added or clarified or better understood, I'll bring that to the table. And hey, Josh, welcome.
How you doing, Ethan?
Good. I wonder if I should move the microphones on the back. I don't know if we got anybody here can tell us how the sound is, but I think you're
give me a step there. That worked all right. It's working.
Okay. All right. So tell us about the sheriff's department, Eddie. You got two first names, so you don't mind if I call you Eddie and I call you Josh, do you? Because people call me Dean and call me Ethan.
Yeah.
They call me all kinds of things.
Yeah, same here. I grew up with three first names, So
need a wrench, I think.
Hold on, I gotta take care of something real quick.
Need a wrench.
Yep.
I think, yep.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what that is, but absolutely gone. Ain't gonna deal with it. Anyway, stop putting that stuff in the comment you don't want to be taken out of here. So anyway, I just want to get this document ready real quick. So I'm in Grant County, Washington, everybody, and I went up to the sheriff's, and I've had a couple opportunities to talk to the deputies that are over there. One deputy seems to say that there's change coming with, they're going to give everybody the right to travel. They won't arrest anybody. They won't issue a warrant for somebody's arrest for driving while suspended. And that change is going to go statewide, right? So, it makes me think, we got the constitutional right to travel. But then last night I went over and talked to a different deputy, and this different deputy that's, lower than the other guy that I was probably talking to, said that he doesn't know what I'm talking about, and that they're not, however, that they're not arresting people for driving while suspended. But it's because there's no more rooms at the inn, is how he said it, is word for word what he said. So,
good guy.
Conflicting information. However, all that is neither here nor there. I want to talk about this notice of liability, and I did make some changes. I'll let you know as I read through it where I made changes or whatever.
Changes or additions?
I made changes, or I didn't make changes. I put in more stuff is what I did. I didn't change anything. I just added a couple for my state of Washington.
Well, then why did you say changes?
Oh, okay. My bad. I meant updated. I basically just added text to section from Washington State Constitution.
So in other words, you didn't run across anything that you felt that needed a correction so far to this point.
Absolutely. I'm sorry about that, wording it like that. Words matter, and you're absolutely right.
Oh, well, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So would you like to read that for us, Josh Eddy?
Yeah, sure. Comes now affiant one of the people, as seen in all of the several states' Declaration of Rights and Bills of Rights, as in Article 1, Section 1, Indiana Constitution, sui juris, in this court of record, do make the following claims.
Hang on now. Tell me what all you just accomplished in that paragraph.
Basically, I'm entering in a court of record. I'm holding court against, it would be the sheriff's department.
Well, you're preparing your document for that.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
The first paragraph, that's you are entering court and you are the affiant, and you're stating your jurisdiction as one of the people, the highest standing above all government, above all authority, with immunity to arrest, with franchise on liberty and freedom, with the right to pursue happiness, with the franchise on privacy and immunity to having your privacy invaded, and franchise on that immunity of invasion of your privacy, and more. There's something else that you've done now, is you are getting ready to give testimony in a court of record where you intend to put an autograph and have a notary jurat verify everything you're going to use as testimony is true under penalty of perjury to the best of your knowledge. All right, Josh Eddy, go on, continue reading.
All right, Indiana Article 1, Bill of Rights, Section 1. We declare that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that all people is inherent, all power is inherent in the people.
What power?
And
whoa, Betty. What power?
All power. Not some, not a little, not just political, not just in my own home with my children.
All power.
All power.
All. You own
Every
it.
bit of it.
You own this country. You own this government.
That's right.
Whoa. Our forefathers did that for us? Does that for our, when our forefathers did that go to posterity? Do you know what the word posterity means?
No, I don't. I got a dictionary in front of me.
You got a dictionary?
Prosperity?
Is it posterity or posterity? Posterity. It means your children and your children's children, your lineage.
Yes. Prosperity. Yes. I know what that means. I got an idea, an understanding. I don't know what word
okay,
for word,
so the Constitution guarantees everything you're reading for every generation, including you. What are those rights? Unalienable. What else are they? Back up. Go back to the beginning. Read that whole thing. Start that paragraph again, Josh Eddy. There is a lot of power in there.
Number one, it says, we declare that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
By who?
By our Creator.
Our Creator.
God Almighty.
Oh my goodness. Where we get natural law?
So.
Right? The highest law? Natural law?
Absolutely. We are the highest law.
No. The Creator is the highest law.
Oh, the Creator, yeah. He's the one who gave us our dominion over everything. Says it in the Bible.
Okay. And our common law that we, the people,
Comes
make,
from the Bible.
Right, is based on that natural law. And what?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And what power do we have at Josh Eddy?
It says here in Article 1, Section 1, that we have all power. I mean, it clearly says it right there, black and white.
Black and white. How many words in that entire sentence, Josh Eddy?
There's a bunch in there. I don't know. I ain't gonna sit here and count them out.
No. Is we have all power a short sentence?
Oh yeah.
Okay. How many words in that sentence? And read the entire sentence.
We have all power. 4 words.
In one sentence.
Yeah.
No commingling of anything else. All by itself. Whoa. That's powerful. All right, Josh Eddy, I'm going to let you read that whole thing through. I'm going to just sit back and drink a little coffee and listen to you tell the people all about this.
All right, so we'll start over on the Article 1, Section 1, Bill of Rights. Section 1, we declare that all men are created equal, that all are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that all power is inherent in the people, and that all rights, that all free governments are, and of right ought to be founded on their authority as instituted for their peace, safety, and well-being. For the advancement.
Whoa! I'm sorry. I lied. I'm sorry. I got to back you up. What's that for? What's a government for?
Government
ought to be established for what?
Instituted for their peace, safety, and well-being.
Whose safety?
The people's.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're there to act for you. They're there doing our business because they're our servants.
Well, it's about time somebody told us. Thanks, Josh. I think you're sharing uncommon knowledge. Continue, young man.
For the advancements of these ends, the people have at all times an indefeasible right to alter and reform their government.
When?
At all times.
Wait a minute. Does that mean when we vote every 4 years or every 2 years?
No, not at all.
Wow. All right. Pick up, continue on reading, Josh Eddy.
All right, Maryland, Article 6, that all persons invested with the legislators, or I'm sorry, hold on, I gotta turn this TV
legislative
down. That all persons invested with the legislative or executive powers of government are the trustees of the public, and as such accountable for their conduct. Wherefore, whenever the ends of government are perverted, I can't believe you really used that word. That's funny.
1984 and 2021.
That's beautiful, man. That word is so perfect in that sentence, Ethan. That is so perfect. All right.
All right,
heard
collect
public
yourself and back.
liability.
Collect yourself and back up there, Josh.
Right. Wherefore, whenever the ends of government are perverted and public liberty manifestly endangered, and all other means of redress are ineffectual, the people may and of right ought to reform the old or establish a new government. The doctrine of non-resistance against arbitrary power and oppression is absurd, slavish, and destructive to the good and happiness of mankind. I declare and adamantly affirm the following.
Whoa. We got to talk about that. You mean when somebody like me discovers something so wonderful for mankind and mammals to rejuvenate a tissue in the body that science gave up on and actually put it in writing that you can't do it, you're just going to have to live with it, and that discover how to prevent tooth decay by preventing plaques, and then no matter what I do, everywhere I go, the government just keeps attacking me and attacking me and attacking me. And I go everywhere. I go to the governors. I go to the dental schools. I go to the universities. I go to the ADA, the AMA. I reach out all around the world. You know, they want to shut down international banking when someone works with me. You know, they want to come and take everything that I got. They want to destroy my family. And I just keep going and going. And finally, I learn I can be prosecutor, and I hold court, and I take my stuff to the sheriff. And as a prosecutor, right? So I'm doing everything I can, right? It says when all means something about exhausting, or there were some words in there about, you know, all means ineffectual or something. So, you know, something like, kind of like what I'm going through.
And all other means of redress are ineffectual?
Yeah. So go to the sheriff, all lawful and proper, and have held court. And I need a jury for law, because court's over.
Yeah, and see, Ethan, that's something else. Listen to this. I was thinking about adding a thing out of one of Dave Jose's notice to the Congress that he just sent out. If you check your email, I sent it to you.
Oh, look.
And down one of the on the bottom one of the paragraphs, it basically talks about we know that, you know, you're keeping the grand juries from us because, and I'm telling you that we, you know, basically saying we want.
Wait. Who's he saying this to?
He's sending it to everybody, businesses. Just open up the file and read it.
Whoa, wait a minute. The sheriff controls the grand jury.
Yes, and that's what it didn't say that they know. I'm saying that we ought to add to this document that we know the sheriff controls the grand jury for my situation, and that I want to take one of the clips out of David Jose's notice that he just, you know, come out with. It's a notice. It's not an affidavit. It's a notice. I sent you an email. If you pull it up, you'll see it in your inbox. Down on one of the last paragraphs, it says that we are trying to get access to the grand juries so that we can hold you accountable, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's what the paragraph says.
Oh, we're getting control of the grand juries because now we understand who the guard is. And that guard is elected. And that guard is the highest law enforcement officer. And I've been talking to some sheriffs. I've been talking to a lot of sheriffs. Well, more sheriffs than I've ever talked to in my life. I've been talking to sheriffs in several different counties, other states. some chat, common law chats, then some private conversations. I've learned how to talk with from talking with the sheriffs, I've learned a lot about what they're thinking, why they're thinking it, what they're concerned about, what they're worried about. And I'm going to tell you, uh, it's troubling. It's troubling how little they know about their duty, responsibility, and the law. And it's because of the bar. It is because of the bar. And it's generations. So, but the thing is, Josh, it's so simple. It really is so simple. And a lot of them are, want to be doing God's work and doing the people's work and upholding their oath and have a good society. But they're living in fear. They got to come to God, because if you fear God, you will love God. And when you love God, you will never feel fear from God, because you do God's work. And then you fear no man. Now you don't have fear in your life anymore. You're not paralyzed from moving forward. So a lot of these sheriffs, they're afraid of being arrested by their lower class appointed so-called enforcers of law, but it's all administrative. It doesn't apply to the free man. And the sheriff is the most powerful law enforcer of the land. The sheriff can arrest the president of the United States. The president is in the executive through the Constitution. The people created the Constitution, created government. State government is higher than federal government. You got God up here. You got the people here. They create state government. It's here. All the states have their individual constitutions with their bills of rights or declarations of rights. And there's another term, I think. There's certainly something different between article and section. Most of them are article and section, but some of them say amendment for everyone, or at least one does, or at least one version did, one that I have. So, and then we see things like in the Michigan constitutions where one will say Bill of Right, but because of an amendment previous or later, one will say Bill of Right and the other one will say Declaration of Right. And this is just another stupid little bar trick so that as people are learning and maybe they try standing on their rights, but they don't really know what they're doing, and but they're willing to take a charge. And so let's say they create a document and they put, say you enter court with a Bill of Right, but then you drop in a article section that's a Declaration of Right. And then you're going to have some genius say, oh, that paper's worthless. You came in under a bill and you got a declaration. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, come on, give me a break. Because I use one of my rights from one of the constitutions, I lose the others. Get out of here. No right can be abridged. No right can be abridged. They are unalienable, inalienable, and inherent. And you can't have a right in Virginia. You can't have a right in Virginia that I don't have here in Michigan. I can't have a right here in Michigan that you don't have in Washington. So every right that is cemented in compact, which is a contract, is a trust indenture. And your servants swear an oath. You have all power.
Provisions of this Constitution are mandatory unless express words they are declared to be otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Absolutely, they are. You can't get it. You can't get away from it. They want to. They wish they could create a statute to go against it, but you can't do that. I'm sorry, the Constitution don't allow it.
No. That's why UCC 1-308 exists in Uniform Commercial Code, because legislative law needs to be in line with common law. But if you're in slave land, if you're in administrative land, and you don't know that, well, then you're a super slave.
So, quick question, Nathan. Would I take I hold court with the affidavits, right? And then I just serve it on the prosecutor, or?
No. You serve it. You're going to serve. Who is your claim against?
Well, it's going to have to be.
Nah, Alfonso, he plays in the administrative stuff. We don't go there. We stay out of their courts. I'm not going to get dragged into that clown show. My jurisdiction is above that.
Yeah. Yeah, here, let me go get, I got to run out here and grab the ticket. I'll get back in the house, so I'll finish reading that. Give me 1 second. I want to know.
I know about Alfonso. I got just reading the chats here, Eddie. I know about Alfonso. Alfonso's good. Alfonso's good at what he does. He can stand in it. You get into that administrative court, you are out of your league, baby. They assume and presume you to death, and they all stick together. You got a bar member on the prosecuting side. You got a bar member on the defense side. You got a bar member sitting behind the bench who is administrating. No man, male or female, can administer a free man. You ever find yourself in there, you say, I am a man. I demand a common law court. Done.
Shut up.
Over. If you knew who you were, Americans, none of this would be necessary. But through generations of misinformation and dumbing us down.
Oh, guess what? It's Grant County District Court.
My. And does it have your name on there, or does it have some kind of fiction like all caps?
Oh, it's all fiction.
Oh, my goodness. And it came through the mail?
Negative. It was, he approached me with a loaded weapon.
Oh! Did he force you to pull over?
Absolutely.
Now that they do all this intimidation on TV. You see it on the news all the time. These police chases, and because free man's a free man. Not supposed to be bowing down to a servant, and yet the servant with the car that we pay for is going to ram your car, make it flip, go into the ditch, God knows what. This is a little bit insane. That's a major trespass. Too bad you hadn't gotten your notice of liability done and served it on your sheriff prior to all of this. But you're okay because you're working on it, and I know that's where one place that it's going. Go on, Josh Eddy. Keep on reading.
All right, give me a second here to get the document pulled back up.
Bar grievances, schmievances. Get out of here.
All right, I declare and adamantly affirm the following. You may wish to provide care in the event of this.
Hey, wait a minute, Josh. I don't want this clown stuff on here. I love Alphonse, okay? We got nothing to do with that here. Anybody wants to play in Clown World? learned from Alphonse. He's good. Clear this out, Josh.
All right, stand by.
I don't want anybody reading this getting the wrong idea. We don't touch that. We are above that jurisdiction. We don't go there. Slave land. Administrating. Oh, I learned today that a couple of these Michigan men that are in these administrative tribunals, where they're not before a jury of their peers, but they're before an administrator, have spent like $100,000 each, and that's pretty ugly, because and they're saying they were entrapped. I mean, there's a lot of news articles. The majority of the thing was the FBI, and why is the FBI trying to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer within a couple of weeks of me giving evidence of her pleading guilty to treason in a court of record and asking the sheriff to arrest her, so bring her in so that she can sit before a jury of her peers to give their answer to the claims brought against her, to dispense law. She's pled guilty to treason, and so the jury needs to determine what is the punishment for treason and what is the restitution. There's a lot of free men and women that are in prison because of marijuana, which is healing, and government just doesn't want you healthy. So Gretchen is a bar attorney, and she got caught flat-footed because the bar does not teach common law, the most powerful law in the land. Why would I want to go play in Alfonso land, clown land? You know, we hold court in a matter of days. You know, a week, 2 weeks, done. Then the jury has to make a determination. But the sheriff's been hiding the jury from us. And they've been hiding the jury from us because the bar members tell them, you know, you got to deal with the AG and, you know, you got to deal with the legislature. That they don't control the grand juries, but see, you got to talk to an attorney. So the sheriff's going to talk to the prosecutor. And the legislators, well, heck, they got a bunch of them British agents right there, part of them. I mean, complete conflict of interest, but, you know. All right, Josh Eddy, go on and read some more.
I was just noticing that on this ticket it says violation. And they gave a violation for me going 16 miles an hour over the speeding limit, right? But a violation is, the definition of a violation is to damage property, right? Or to hurt another human being, or to sexually advance on somebody. So what violation is speeding? That's not a violation. So, you know, that's something else that I noticed.
That is what they're doing. See, they have a suggested speed. Our government has put up suggested speeds for us and speed limits for commerce. Okay, semi-trucks, school buses, passenger buses, taxi cabs, garbage trucks, you know, commerce. They need to keep we the people safe. So they should be traveling and not exceeding the speeds that have been posted so that the public is kept safe. However, for the free man, those are suggestions. So they're saying that your fiction violated a suggestion to the free man who was traveling. See, assumptions and presumptions. So once you understand this, you put this into testimony in a court of record under penalty of perjury, much like the way I responded to this summons with order, with threatening language and everything. How I responded to that, I sent you a copy. All right. We blew that out in court in a matter of a couple of days. And then the judge panics and does something stupid because the judge wasn't even involved and sends me evidence of the judge operating outside of jurisdiction. So now I gotta hold another court case and it'll be unrebutable. And but I keep trying to educate, but these college educated idiots just don't get it. But they're getting it. Oh boy, are they getting it. Because we're getting the grand juries. We're getting the sheriffs together. We're getting the grand juries, the people's grand juries, the legislative grand juries. I don't want them. They're all brainwashed. We gotta start some education right from the ground up. So the jury pool comes from the county population. And any adult can apply to be a juror. Well, you could have half the adult population listed to be part of the grand jury. And so that could be considered your assembly. And so that's how that works. And the sheriff controls that. And I just did a 4-video talk where I'm reading straight from information from Mackinac Sheriff's link associated to their website, I believe. I have it posted in the description of those videos. So if you want to just read it, you can just read it. However, I think the commentary is good because a lot of people just read over certain things and it won't click in. So that's why we're doing this commentary and, not just reading right through everything, because this stuff is very, very important. What else you got on that citation or whatever they want to call it, Josh Eddy?
Let's see. Well, it says on here that it's a district, and then I noticed the wording of the ticket says State of Washington, putting it in the State of Washington jurisdiction. Instead of Washington State, should be Washington State. So, you notice all the stuffs says Washington State Constitution, Washington State Bill of Rights. You know what I'm saying? It's the wording.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also it asks on here, it has commercial vehicle, yes or no, and no was checked. So clearly knows I'm not engaged in commerce. It wasn't a commerce vehicle, and he still decided to write this ticket. So,
do you know how much that would have cost that man and the department had that notice of liability been served on him? Why don't you do the math on that? Count the trespasses if you can, and call them out as you go.
What do you mean?
Well, you say that was handed to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well,
so you must have been traveling prior to that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you were forced off the road because lights came on?
Absolutely.
Was there a siren?
And then whenever I pulled over to let him go around, he pulled behind me and then got out and approached my vehicle with a loaded weapon.
All right, so he's forced you off the road, so he's arrested you.
Yes.
Now he's approaching your private. Now he's
definition.
Now he's approaching your private vehicle. He's invading your privacy.
He touched the back of my vehicle too, just like all officers do. They want to touch your vehicle so that they know, if in case you try to run or something happens to them, their prints on your vehicle. They always walk up and touch the back corner of the vehicle. That's what he did. So he trespassed. He touched my property.
Trespassed and invaded your privacy, forced you off the road. We're already up to 3 trespasses now. What's the first trespass cost, Eddie?
$100,000.
Is that all, or is there a criminal charge that goes with that?
Charge of treason.
Oh my goodness! And who's that against?
Let's see here.
Is that against
one and all, individually, personally, professionally, and is equally and additionally binding upon a department, division, agency, association, or organization bearing responsibility for the individual or personnel's duty, conduct, and or actions.
Oh, so this person has a department or agency or something that pays him, right? So the first one is $100,000, and it's on him and the department, and charge of treason. That's $200,000 they want to give you. What's the second charge of trespass going to cost?
$200,000.
Whoa! Now we're up to what are we up to? 600,000, and how many counts of treason?
2.
And so he's pushed now, and we got one more. He's invading your privacy.
Yeah.
What's that one going to cost?
All additional trespasses, minimum fee and charge of $1 million.
Is that it?
And a charge of treason.
Oh my goodness! And he probably doesn't stop there, right? Because now he's going to come up and give you some kind of order, instructions, or something like that.
Oh yeah. He sure did.
Oh, he's administering.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Without authority. Without any authority. Has he got a warrant from a grand jury, from a man or woman that gave testimony under penalty of perjury that there was harm caused? Or did someone come in with such compelling evidence that the grand jury had to issue a warrant for a stop? Because you were just arrested and detained. You were not restrained. You were not taken into custody, and you were not jailed. Is that correct, Josh Eddy?
That's correct.
Oh my goodness. And you've got immunity from arrest. You've got a right to protect your life, your liberty, and your freedom. And he's doing this with a how many pound vehicle and loaded weapons and all this stuff. I think this man has taken a great risk being a road pirate. And why do we put up with it? Don't we have a First and Second Amendment right?
Oh, yeah, but to hear them tell it, we got to abide by statutes, even. We can only act on something if there's a statute violation.
Well, how dumbed down and slavish can you get?
Well, that's why it's so important for every one of us to learn these constitutions so that they can be used and applied in our everyday life.
Amen, brother. All right, you got anything else on that? Anything else on that situation, or do you want to get back to reading the notice of liability?
Yeah, we'll get back to the notice of liability.
Right on. Let her rip.
So after the 3 trespass charges and the 3 charges of treason. Constitutionally, I am a free man by nature, male or female. I am not property.
Wait, these are separate statements. This isn't a paragraph or a run-on sentence. Read those as an independent statement. Make it clear. Make sure you pause and say or say the next, just so everybody understands. You are making claims under penalty of perjury now, aren't you?
Well, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely true.
Okay. What? And these are important claims. I know because I wrote them. Go on and read them, Josh.
Number 3, I am not in contract with the state or any agency, department, or division within or of the state. Number 4.
Whoa. What was 1?
1 was constitutionally, I am a free man by nature, male or female.
And what was 2?
2 is, I am not property to be administered.
And then 3 again?
I am not in contract with the state or any agency, department, or division within or of the state.
All right. What's the next one?
Number 4. No entity or man has title over or ownership of a free man. Administering a free man is repugnant to his freedom, liberty, happiness, privacy. There's a big one right there. Privacy, security, and the life. I have not been declared incompetent. You have been noticed by one of the people. Please take further notice. I retain all rights to remedy and surrender none. May God bless you and your day. Amen. And then it goes into some of our many glorious rights across the free land. Montana, Section 18, state subject to suit. The state, counties, cities, towns, and all other local government entities shall have no immunity from suit for injury to a person or property. This provision shall apply only to causes of action arising after July 1st, 1973. So whenever they trespass, that is an injury.
Correct. And there's no umbrella, no limit.
That's right. I can go after them.
Wow.
So, Washington's text of Section 12, special privileges and immunities prohibited, reads as no
what's prohibited?
No special privileges and immunities prohibited.
Okay.
So no law shall be passed granting to any citizen, class of citizens, or corporation other than municipal privileges or immunities which upon the same terms shall not equally belong to all citizens or corporations. And on a side note, that one right there, anybody who is a ham radio operator, that one right there also proves that you don't need a ham radio license to talk on ham radio waves. You already got them. Your Constitution clearly provides it for you. So,
and that's also stating that one man cannot have a right that another man can't in a similar situation. Exactly. So when you're an American living in America and you're in Virginia, you got all the rights of every other state. And I find in 4 states where we have the guaranteed right to prosecute our own cause in a civil court, a court of record. And so that can't be just limited to those 4 states, because all men are created equal in the eyes of God. Now, some moron may possibly, when you're talking the Constitution, some moron may say, "Oh no, not all men are created equal." Well, of course not. Some are 6'6" and some are 4'2". Some got blonde hair, some got black hair, some got a big nose, some got a little nose, right? Some men are able to bear children. The female men are able to bear children. The male men are not, but the female cannot impregnate the male or the female, but the male can impregnate the female. So yes, all men are not created equal, but in the guise of God, which is the highest law, the natural law, and where we get our common law, all men are created equal. All right. People need to understand that, because some crafty guy might try and tell you your document isn't worth anything, or you don't know what you're talking about. You got a declaration of right, and then you use the Bill of Right, and all this thing's worthless. And, no, not all men are created equal. And, hey, look, it's right here. Just get real. Drop the garbage. All right. Go on, Josh Eddy.
All right. So up next, text of Section 12. Special privileges and immunities prohibited. No law shall be passed granting to any citizen, class of citizens, or corporation. Oh, I already read that one. I'm sorry. Okay, so here the next one that I added was because in this particular situation, I added it because I'm in my private vehicle, traveling down the road, and I'm a traveler. I'm not a operator. Okay, I'm not operating a motor vehicle. A motor vehicle, by definition, is a vehicle engaged in commerce on the public transportation ways, right?
Well, look, you have all power.
Absolutely.
The words you use are not going to entrap you into the slave system. You got people tell you can't say citizen. You can't say person.
All right, so I'll just cut all that out. You're right. Okay, I understand where you're going with that, sir. Okay, so
because listen. Let's say you're dealing with the grand jury and you're giving testimony. Somebody might say to you, please explain to me what you meant by that. Okay? Rather than, oh, you said that? Boop, right into the floor. You fell into the trap. You see the difference?
Right.
All right. Carry on, Josh.
Like, they say to you, are you a United States citizen?
Yeah, when they know darn well you're not.
Exactly. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So back to what I was saying, I added text of Section 7 from the Washington State Constitution, and it's invasion of private affairs or home prohibited. And it reads, no person shall be disturbed in his private affairs or his home invaded without authority of law.
Correct. You have immunity to having your privacy invaded, and you have franchise on your immunity to your privacy being invaded. And that right cannot be diminished. And that man that dealt with you with that piece of paper we were talking about earlier, I know, did not get authority from a grand jury to conduct that business. So this is clearly a complete violation of your rights and a derelict of duty, treasonous, actually, actions that can get you put away for life or killed. This is serious, isn't it, Josh Eddy?
Absolutely.
So we need to do a lot of educating, and that's why Josh and I are here. Josh is helping me to educate you and educate Josh. And maybe I pick up a nugget or two, or something sparks into my brain, or somebody comes out and tells me something. I'd love that. But anyways, Josh, giddy up, carry on. You need to read that. You need to read that verification and that notary jurat, because there are a couple of points that we're going to talk about.
All right. So another thing I added was text of section 29, and I added that from the Washington State Constitution as well. It says the provisions of this Constitution are mandatory unless express words they are declared to be otherwise. So, did anywhere in those constitutions, in those texts of sections, did it mention anything about being able to pull over one of the people and write him a ticket?
No, and it says the same thing in other ways. Your Constitution say your rights cannot be abridged. That means what is written cannot be shortened that diminishes any of your rights. And there's another phraseology that isn't clicking in my head right now at the moment that applies the same way. So it's said in multiple ways the same thing in the constitutions.
So, okay, I'll ask that question later. All right, I'm going to continue on.
Right on.
If you're good with that, Ethan.
Yep, and if you got a question, you're ready to go, let her rip.
All right, so Massachusetts, every subject has a right to be secure from all unreasonable searches and seizures of his person, his house, his papers, or his possession. All warrants, therefore, are contrary to this right if the cause or foundation of them be not previously supported by oath or affirmation, and if the order in the warrant to a civil officer to make search.
Whoa. What officer?
To a civil officer.
Oh, not an administrative officer, an appointed officer. A civil officer. What's a civil officer?
Civil officer, wouldn't that be what, a police policy enforcer, I guess? A policeman? I don't know who, Ethan.
A policeman, our police appointed? Do you vote for a policeman?
No, they're hired.
That's administrative.
That's right.
So who's your civil law enforcer?
No, sheriff.
Wow, the peace enforcer. His job is to maintain the peace. Whoa! He has a lot of duties, like drownings and deaths and estates and the grand juries and so forth. But one of his most primary jobs is maintaining the peace and dealing with offenders without breaching his duty. That's fact. So read that again. Start back at the beginning of that paragraph, because I might have let you skip over another important point.
All right.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Massachusetts. Every subject has a right to be secure from all unreasonable searches, seizures of his person, his house, his papers, and all his possessions. All warrants, therefore, are contrary.
Wait. All possessions?
I'm sorry?
You mean like your children?
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, they're my possession.
But they take children all the time in these administrative courts. How do they do that?
Non-positive law, section 42, or title 42 bullshit.
Because of what? Because of dumb down?
Because we don't know. We don't know that we can object and stop it instantly.
See, if Americans knew what America was and what an American is, none of this would be necessary, would it, Josh?
And how hard is it to say I object to you taking my kids? You know what I'm saying? The CPS
aren't they trespassing at that moment?
Oh, absolutely.
See, post the notice of liability. You know, you can do this. You can actually do this because you have all power, and especially if you.
My roommates, not my roommate. I'm gonna go to my neighbors, and I'm gonna ask if there's if I can borrow his computer to print off these documents on my printer, because I've got printer, I've got ink, I've got legal size paper. I just run Linux, and my brand new printer decides it's not gonna have a Linux driver with it. So it is what it is. But
can you print from your phone?
It's not a wireless printer.
Oh.
I got one that was on some Black Friday deal or something, and it was real cheap. It was only $40. I don't have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
I'm struggling to, raise, my two girls, really,
yeah.
And I don't get child support. So.
Yeah, and these parasites are trying to take money from you, aren't they? In time.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's
Shameful.
why I've got to, and I don't have a choice. They are literally causing me hardship. So, and I'm on paper poor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I literally, I can't stress that enough. I mean, I used to work for some really big names out there. I used to build airplanes for Boeing, and
we got another winner here in the comments. When you get pulled over, arrested, you should invoke the Fifth Amendment as to not implicate yourself.
You don't have to do that.
Well, now let's clarify this. If you're getting dragged in by the sheriff from a warrant that came from a grand jury, taking the Fifth Amendment is probably not a bad idea. You're dealing with administrative crap and you start pulling Fifth Amendment, you're in clown world. You're in slave land. You understand that, Josh?
Oh, yeah, I understand. I'm not, whenever what I should have done, but my heart rate was going because I couldn't believe the motherfucker pulled me over. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. God forgives you, and I do too.
Whenever when he pulled me over, my heart rate started going, right? So, and instantly, what I wanted to ask him went out the window. But I wanted to ask him, what I should have asked him was, number one, am I obligated to answer any of your questions?
No.
Give you my
Slave.
Well, I'm glad I didn't do that then. But,
yeah.
I just, I asked him.
You say you just forced me off the road, approached me with weapons with no authority.
Yeah, You know what he told me? I've got to go take it to court.
So well, okay. Now here's where he is dead wrong. You don't have to go into that court at all, period. That's clown world. That's slave land. You drag him, you take his hiney into your court, a court of record. And you put all the claims against him. Now you know how to enter court with your paragraph and then come in with your constitutional section,
I
right?
would have to claim him. I would have to post his name as J. Rivera, badge number GT -45.
You're going to address it to the man. You're also going to address it to the department. You're going to put his name. You may also put AKA and put his name in all caps, right? Because on your on the affidavit for holding court for harm is different than creating that notice of liability you got there. There's a little bit more to that affidavit. It's a little more sophisticated, right?
I'd imagine it'd have to be.
Oh, you haven't looked at it? Oh, it is. If you had looked at it, you'd know.
Look at what exactly?
Well, you're going to make testimony. You're going to make testimony of what happened. You're going to describe the event. I was traveling, going about my private business in my private vehicle when I was forced off the road by a servant without authority. Now, I can say that. I can put that in testimony under penalty of perjury if that happens to me, because I know I can stand on that. You see, people are afraid to write things when they don't know if they can really stand on it. So this is why we're going over this and over this and over this. You never go into their courts, ever. You send paper dragging them into your court.
So do I do that by USPS certified mail with return receipt?
Yes, sir. Or you can just serve it on them. So if you're dealing with one of these
it's kind of difficult to do that in Washington State with their ass backwards laws that they got here. I wish it were like Indiana, where only one person needs to be aware that you're recording, but I'm pretty sure you can't record anybody like that. You got to be in public. And,
slave! You know. Jeez. Mental block. You can't. It says who? You have all power.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, see, and you're absolutely.
My goodness.
Everything we've ever been taught our whole life. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Okay.
Wow. Uncommon knowledge.
It is very uncommon.
Brain restoration to critical thinking. Return to fundamental values. Wow.
So what do I do? Do I seek relief?
Well, you're gonna There's a lot of structure to the document. You're gonna come in with the testimony, and in the testimony, you can refer to that document, and when you send a copy of it, you don't send it. You keep that as evidence. That's your original. You make a copy of that and you write Exhibit 1 on it. If you had another similar piece of evidence, you would write Exhibit 2 and then Exhibit 3. And then as you're putting your testimony into your affidavit and you want to talk about the trespasses that occurred that led up to that piece of paper in your hands, addressed to a fiction from a servant that had no authority, because there is no warrant from a grand jury for my arrest or detention, and I was arrested and detained. Right? This is testimony that I could stand on if that happened to me, because it's all true. And you're listing off trespasses. All right. Now, you go on with your testimony until you're done. Now, from your testimony, you go to discovery, where you say, admit that on this day, write the date, time, write the time, or approximate time, right? Don't overcomplicate it for yourself. Don't overcomplicate it for yourself. But get your testimony out. It's not going to matter if it was 5 minutes or 10 minutes or, an hour. Approximately on this day. And the vehicle behind me, the lights came on. It's obviously forcing me off the road. So I'm trespassed. I am arrested because you were stopped. That's arrest. And then, admit. I was traveling down this road at this time, and you got the guy's name. You put his name. Tom forced me off the road. Stop. Go down. Admit.
That the people have the right not to be.
No. Well, whatever. Admit. Admit that so and so arrested me. Admit. I'm a little. I could read a whole bunch of admits here. When you look at what I did for that jury duty and dealing with the all caps name, admit, and then you write the all caps name out.
Right. I scrolled through it. There's a bunch on there, Ethan. You did a good job on that.
Is a fiction. And then admit, and you write the fiction out, the all caps name, cannot respond to you. And so they can answer this actually 4 ways, but 2 of them are like the same. You can say, I admit that this is true. You can respond with, I deny that this is true. However, now you're going to have to prove it. You're going to have to put some type of evidence. You can't just say, I deny. And the third way to answer is can neither admit or deny. So this is how we deal with these situations. If they can only agree, then we're good. If, because it's common knowledge, right? There's just no denying it. You don't even have to provide an exhibit or any evidence. It's just common knowledge. That's a good one. But let's say you're going to want them to admit to something like a constitutional provision. Well, then you refer to that. Or if you want them to admit to the citation.
Which is how I'm going to have, which is how I'm going to win my battle, is by referring to that.
Yeah, just listing out the details and everything that's wrong. And you keep your admits simple. We got some action in the chat. Who we got here?
Oh, yeah, I just noticed that.
Thumbs up. So What do we got? Low stripes. My stripes without clothing. Huh. I don't know about that. Well, anyways, you got all power. Don't let anybody tell you what you can do, what you can't do. When the rule is cause no harm. If you cause no harm, there is no oath or affirmation that goes to a grand jury that creates a warrant that gets given to a civil officer. Can you repeat that, Josh Eddy?
I'm busy right now. Hold on. What did you say?
Without oath or affirmation from a man, without oath or affirmation from a man to a grand jury to create a warrant to be given to a civil officer, you have immunity from arrest.
So you're basically saying that it takes two to make a statement against me to arrest me?
No, it takes a man, male or female, under penalty of perjury by affidavit, make a claim against you to a grand jury, or provide compelling evidence. They have a picture of you stabbing grandma. You know, compelling evidence.
Right.
All right. By oath or affirmation. The compelling evidence is the affirmation. The oath is your testimony under penalty of perjury. Only by oath or affirmation can a warrant be developed by the grand jury to be given to who? An administrative bylaw officer? No. To who, Josh Eddy? Civil, wasn't it? I remember you saying civil.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be civil because it's not criminal. It says it here. Let me look. I'm not familiar with the whole lingo, so you have to forgive my learning curve.
Yeah, it has nothing to do about criminal. It has to do with civil versus administrative. That warrant doesn't go to a bylaw officer. It goes to the sheriff. The sheriff will then either deal with it himself or assign a deputy to the task, or deputies, depending on the situation. So I'm willing to bet that there was no warrant issued by a grand jury for you to encounter the incident that you experienced that we're talking about now, was there?
No, no.
Well, all you got to do is enter court, create your testimony, do your admissions, get your verification on there, your notary jurat on there, facilitate it, serve it on him. He's in your court. You're done. He's done. He can't rebut it. And all you need is a grand jury. And his hiney is in big trouble. So the sheriff's got the grand juries. That's what we know. That's where they come from. Sheriffs are elected. They're not appointed. And we can replace them at any time, right? Didn't we? Wasn't that earlier in one of those constitutional provisions?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Can you go back up and read that? Can you find that? We'll wait for you.
Yeah, give me a second here.
Go right on. Thanks, Josh.
What part exactly was we looking for? I just had to kick somebody else off the chat room. I don't know how Dave Jose can do that so fast. I mean, you see that man sit there and bouncing so quick. I mean, he's got some skill, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry. I moved on because I was counting on you to move up there, and
oh, sorry. I just so happened I had to report that guy because he was doing one of them weird links again, man.
Oh, right on.
So, and whenever I seen that, I was trying to report it and schedule it, and I didn't hear what you asked, so I apologize.
Right on. Yeah. That they can't. Well, go back to what.
No entity nor man has title or ownership of a free man administering a free
Well, no,
man.
I think it was in a constitutional provision that I wanted you to go to.
Okay.
For that last thing we were talking about there.
Okay. With the civil officer and everything on
it? Yeah.
Massachusetts says every subject has a right to be secure from all unreasonable searches and seizures of his person, his house, his papers, and all his possessions. All warrants, therefore, are contrary to this right, if the cause or foundation of them to be not...
Wait. You said a very important word about 4 or 5 words back. You said if. What is if? Start from the beginning and understand the importance of the word if and what is said afterwards.
All right, every subject has a right to be secure from all unreasonable searches and seizures of his person, his house, his papers, and all of his possessions. All warrants.
What? All what?
All warrants.
All warrants?
Yep. All warrants.
Not some warrants.
Nope.
All warrants. I'm sorry.
All warrants, therefore, are contrary to this right if the cause or foundation of them be not previously supported.
Whoa. Be what?
Be not previously supported by oath or affirmation.
When?
Only if it's not supported.
Previously.
It makes it illegal.
I said when. If it's not supported previously.
By oath or affirmation.
Correct.
That makes the search, seizure, and all that nonsense illegal.
Complete trespass. Trespass.
Yeah. That is illegal.
Well, no, it's unlawful.
Yeah.
We don't care about legal and legalese and
Yeah, you're right.
All that clown world stuff.
Wordsmithing me again.
So, boy, have we learned a lot tonight, Josh Eddy?
Oh man, I'm telling you what, it's been a hell of a learning curve. You know, it really has been. It's a lot of different things to take in, juggle, understand what the words mean. That's a big one.
Now, a lot of people that have been studying common law for like years say, you can't say understand. Slave. Go on. Keep talking, Josh. I interrupted you.
It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to read. I cannot stress to everybody enough, if you hear me say this. Go to ballotpedia.org, type in your state constitution or your state Bill of Rights. We gotta, you know.
I gotta address a comment here.
Yeah, I was just about to as well. Go ahead. I'll let you do it.
So, Truth Warrior, I'm pushing the same thing you guys are talking about. Right on. Geez, you guys are going to not get anywhere with acting like I'm your enemy or that you know more, because he talking about the same thing Alphonse talks about. Well, Alphonse talks about a lot more, because Alphonse deals in the administrative courts. And the previous references were talking about going into that clown world. And that is slave land. You never want to go there.
What do you mean by slave land there, Ethan? And Warrior's Truth, this is the difference between Alfonso, I believe, and I've never even watched the guy, but if he's dealing with all the administrative, we're not dealing with any of the administrative stuff.
Yeah.
We deal, our quote, administrative, unquote, court is the common law court. It's the people's court. It's the people's court of record. That is what a notary public is for. That's why they're out there.
Yeah, it's your notary jurat. And if that's how you get your affirmation. That's how you get your oath, your testimony.
You hold them accountable by taking them to the notary public. You get all your stuff. That's an affidavit, brother. Once you and that notary signs off on it, there's your court of two. Do you understand? There you go. You held court. That's how you hold them accountable. Then you've got a civil case against them.
No, you had a case. That's why you held court. And when it is unrebuted, court is over. Now the claims that you have made can be brought against them. As it's your case, as it's your cause, you can be the prosecutor. So now you can write up whatever paperwork. If it requires arrest, you can write up an arrest order as the prosecutor and serve it on the sheriff.
Hey, can I ask you a question there, Warrior of Truth? Who's enforcing Trump and his loss and all that nonsense that was going on and all them court cases that you've seen foiled, that we're still dealing with the same nonsense right now? Who's enforcing that? Who's enforcing that Trump's our president right now when clearly there was maladministration all around? Who's enforcing it? Why are they not enforcing it? You know, there's a good question. You know what I'm saying? Why is there no action in these courts? Because of that lack of action is why we are going to the notary public. If you follow Dave Jose and not this Alfonso guy, you would understand a whole lot more than what you are right now. Because right now it just seems like you're trying to push disinformation. You know what I'm saying? And
if you keep it up, we'll block you. We'll just block you out if you keep it up.
Yeah, we know the cops are all crooked, man.
They're not all crooked, but they have been dumbed down like all of us. From day one, they have been dumbed down since all of us. They have been mistrained. And this is from generations of the bar working the system.
Well, if you studied for law for 10 years and you don't know about the common court or the common law court, brother, you ain't been doing yourself no justice.
They don't teach it. They don't teach it in law school. The highest law of the land, and they don't teach it in law school. That's why I caught Gretchen flat-footed. That's why she's dancing with the FBI 2 weeks later, and Kalkaska County prosecutor has boot scoot boogied from the office, and That's why I haven't gotten a letter, a note, anything from any attorney for anything that I've done, because I have won every case slam dunk within a matter of weeks for under $100. It would take a bar attorney years and thousands and hundreds of thousands. So these guys in Detroit or Michigan, they got caught up in that FBI thing because of Whitmer. I hear tell have already spent $100,000. It's destroying their lives. And I read that one guy took a plea deal. This is just insanity. I mean, it's just absolute insanity. And they're doing this in an administrative court. I'm talking to a sheriff, and he's talking about jury trial. And I'm like, no. Trial by jury. Jury trial is administrative. That jury's not making law. An administrator is. No one man can administer another.
Ethan, you got some comments in there?
Well, let's see. What do we got? You've been studying for 10 years.
Someone actually paying attention out there. That's awesome. Bless you.
Ethan, I believe you were asking Josh to look up something about the sheriff being elected, not appointed. Yeah, right. So that could very well be, but he is. It's the civil. The warrant goes to the civil officer, not the administrative bylaw police.
Yes, that's what it says in the Massachusetts text of section. It says that and if the order in the warrant to a civil officer to, yeah.
Who's the same guy, Susan?
That warrior of truth, I think, is what she was saying.
Oh.
Is the same guy who Dave was talking about. I don't know. I'm not for sure. It's hard to keep up in them chat. They get going so fast, and then there's hours of it. So, you know, I've got kids and haven't been able to see all of, you know, his chats. But yeah, I'll tell you what. There's these weird abbreviations that seem to come in here. A couple, you know, capital letters, and then one small letter and a period, and a couple more letters. You know, just don't make no sense. All those people, you know, I don't know what they're doing, but they're going.
Right on. Well, we've been having a pretty good talk tonight, Susan. You should catch this from the beginning if you're just tuning in now, because we're well into this hour and a half, and it has been packed with uncommon knowledge, hasn't it, Josh Eddy?
Yeah, it has, man. It really has, and there's going to be more questions and everything. I got to get a Windows computer, man. It's hard, man. I've got old hand-me-down stuff. My laptop's probably 8 years old, and it's got Linux on it just so it can run. Because I mean, you can't put anything on it like Windows. It'll never process anything, you know. So. You know, just trying to make it work, and my printer died right after I served a notice on my school, and my daughter, my oldest, doesn't have to wear a mask anymore. So, you know, it worked for the high school, but it didn't work for the elementary school. And when I went to print out the affidavit and go get it notarized, my printer stopped working to where it wouldn't feed paper. So I went and bought a new printer, right? It was on sale Black Friday. Turns out it doesn't have any drivers. So
right on. Well, let's get back to constitutional stuff, because we got people tuning in here. Let's keep to the learning on this, Jess, because we got a lot to cover. We haven't talked about this morning, and it's interesting because Susan's saying she caught up on last few earlier videos today. What do you think of that, Susan?
Also, has anybody viewing this, have you had the chance to view David, Jose, and the Affidavit Mama's affidavit to, or it's a notice, I'm sorry, to, the People's Notice to Federal Congress, businesses, and OSHA? Anybody had a chance to look at that one?
Well, I listened to that, and so after all the hucky bucky booky doo, you get down to the very last thing, and it says, no, nothing in this act shall go against the common law, or something like that. It's like it just destroys the whole thing that they've been trying to stand on. So, am I right? Is that the one you're talking about? It was like I think a 3-hour talk he did on that OSHA mandate. I think it was OSHA.
Yeah, but what are you saying? You're saying that he blew it away? How?
He blew it out of the water because
okay.
at the very end of the document, basically, because he says, I'm going to show you nothing. And he pauses like that, and he says, nothing in this act. And I'm not sure of the exact phrasing after, but the basic context is, will go against the common law, go against your rights.
Yeah, it's some powerful stuff, man. I'd like to read it. It's a long one, though, man. It really is.
Well, it's just like, I don't know. That's just minutia. Love that one with the Garrison. Well done live streaming. Yeah, well, hey, have I done everything? Have I gone everywhere? Was there anything else I can do? So now what? All right, because the sheriff, well, I shouldn't even have had to go to the sheriff because medicine should have embraced this. It should have changed everything. The DE has no authority anyways, but I was brainwashed at that time. And 5 years, 2 Michigan governors. I was brainwashed until the spring of this year. So then to the sheriff, then over to the military, right? And so what do I do now? Well, we can reform, alter, abolish, right? So we got to make some changes because our highest law enforcement is handcuffed to their jurisdiction. And so when everything's perverted, so let's say the governor needs to be arrested, but the governor or the sheriff that has jurisdiction of that territory isn't going to do it. Well, see, this sheriff in Kalkaska is to order the sheriff in the jurisdiction to pick her hiney up and bring her up here to where her court case is, so that once the jury has reviewed all of the evidence presented and they come to a determination on the charges brought against her, then she gets to be brought out before the judge and the jury for the jury to read to the judge their determination. And then the judge will do what a judge does. And when the gavel comes down, court is over, and Gretchen gets what she gets, and justice is served. That's how it works.
Right. Oh, hey, I just remembered you said that there was something else that you wanted to recover in the notary, about information in the notary or something like that.
Yeah, we want to read through that whole thing, that the whole verification and notary thing. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay.
If we're done with all the constitutional provisions that are in there.
Yes. Yeah, we are.
All right.
Yep. So we're down to the verification, and that now this is pre-filled out, so I've got to change it to all my stuff before I print it. So I hereby declare, certify, and state pursuant to the penalties of perjury under the laws of the United States of America and
Where?
by the provisions
Where?
United States of America.
Not the United States.
Not the United States. No, it is US of A.
Why not the United States?
Because that is the 10-mile jurisdiction that does not have a Bill of Rights.
Ah. Okay. Read that whole thing again.
I hereby declare. Oh, dang it. The phone decided to cut out on me. Oh, what perfect timing. All right. I hereby declare, certify, and state pursuant to the penalties of perjury under the laws of the United States of America and by all the provisions of 28 USC 1746 that all of the above and foregoing representations are true and correct to the best of my knowledge, information, and belief, executed in
your county,
your city,
yeah,
or your county, I guess, and then your state on this day or on this blank day of whatever month in the year of our Lord 2021 or 22.
Depending on the year. If you get it done this year, it's 21.
And then it says autograph of affiant, and then you got the.
You don't put a signature? You don't put a signature.
No, it doesn't say signature. No, it doesn't say signature. It says autograph.
Ah.
Of what you are. You're the affiant.
Ah, okay.
Doesn't say person.
Okay. Well, you can be a person. Persons, you have to have.
Right.
You got really. Person is supposed to be persons. Well, you got to have a person, more than one person, to have persons.
Oh, okay.
So, they say, who says you can't say what? What did you mean? Did you mean you're a corporate entity? Because in Black's law, the definition of person is a natural human. I'm trying to remember. It's like months and months and months ago. I read across that. And then it goes on to say, but in statute, it can mean corporation, entity, maybe, other words that may be right or not on, but, division, things like that. Corporations. So they take a word that's part of language that we use every day, take for granted. This is how our parents and grandparents talk. This is how we talk. And then you end up in clown world, administrative land, and they've bastardized that word, and they trap you into the United States jurisdiction where they know you're not there. But see, they operate on assumptions and presumptions that they can screw you your whole life through, and game's over. Party's over for the bar. And we're going to live free. By God, is happening. All right, continue on there, Josh Eddy.
All right, and then after it says, the autograph of affiant, you got your notary is the jurat certificate.
Who?
And,
a what?
A notary.
Is a what?
You got to get it. Jurat certificate. A notary as jurat certificate. Your notary is your public, or not public, I'm sorry, excuse me, is we the people's public court of record, I guess, our court of record. I don't know if I needed to include public in there. Is the people's court of record. The notary is the people's court of record. That's what I meant to say. So, it says, on this day, of whatever month in 21 or 22 before me, and then they have to put their name. A notary public personally appeared, and then it would be, your name here, who proved to me on the basis of satisfactory evidence to be the man whose name is subscribed to the within instrument, and acknowledged to me that he has executed the same in his authorized capacity. Right? Now, your authorized capacity.
All right, now,
is
now, hold on. So it's okay to leave the word man because you have male or female, and you have all power, so you could leave it as his, ladies, but that's where a lady might make a change to her.
Right.
Okay, but the reference to man, you don't need the woo because it's man, male, and female.
Well, it's also mankind,
Correct.
Mankind is
male and female. Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Way to tie that all together there, Josh Eddy. Man, we're cruising tonight.
Okay, evidence to be the man whose name is subscribed to the within instrument and had acknowledged to me that he executed the same in his authorized capacity.
What capacity?
By his autograph.
What capacity?
My authorized capacity, which means
you used your authority.
Doing this.
You used your authority.
Yes, because I have power.
What power?
I have all power.
Oh.
Not just some. Oh. Not just a little. Not just the power to bend over and take it in the ass.
Easy now.
I can also bend you. Oh, sorry. I better stop that one. That was not going to be good for YouTube.
All right.
By that. Okay, so and that by is autograph on the instrument, the man or woman executed the instrument. So you want me to read that all over again so it can all make sense without interruption?
Yes.
Publicly, personally, it says notary as juris certificate, and it says the city, the county name. I assume it's in the city of Maryland. Is that what that says up there?
Well,
it says Maryland above Kalkaska County.
That's well. See, that part, you got to put that to your state, your county, your city in the proper location.
Okay, I was just making sure that Maryland was a city
state.
that I need to change.
No, state. That's state. Maryland's a state.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that one needs changed for you because that one says Maryland there, Ethan. So you'd have to change that to Michigan.
Well, I know. See, I was creating.
Right.
I was creating documents for different people in different states, and I said I gotta make one for Americans, and those are the areas that you need to put. You need to make changes. You need to put in your county and your state and your city in the appropriate spots. You need to put in the date and the month. I got December there. If you got go into January, change the month. So I can tell you, I'm sure, how to lay it out or how it's laid out. I can. I know I can. Here we go. So verification after belief. executed in, for me, Kalkaska, Michigan. Now, Kalkaska is the village. So your city, town, village, like that, is going to go there. Executed in your city, town, or village. Maybe there's another.
I'm talking about down underneath that.
Okay, but let's just go. I'm just going to go through this. So,
okay, I'm sorry.
So that's one area that you need to address. You need to put your metropolis, whether it's a city, village, or town, or whatever it is, and your state, and then you'll have your date and month correct, and then you autograph. Then where else do we have to address this? Under the notary jurat certificate, you put the state and then your county. So this is Kalkaska County. I'm in the village of Kalkaska in Kalkaska County. So I get to use Kalkaska twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got love face back here, Joshy.
Oh, okay, stand by.
All right, and then there's another spot where it said at the bottom paragraph, I certify under penalty of perjury under the lawful laws of blank state. For me, I got Michigan State. For you, it's going to be Washington State. Right? So those areas you need to address, and your name. See, because here, I'll just read this, the whole thing, for the notary as jurat certificate. Then the next thing under that is the state. For me, it's Michigan. Then it's the county. It's Kalkaska County. Then it's on this, and then I put in the date. This one's 6th day of July, 2021. Before me, and then there's a line there for the notary jurat to pen her name, to print her name. A notary public personally appeared, and then that's where you would put your name. So on the 6th day of July, 2021, before me, Christy Chilton, a notary public, personally appeared, Mr. Ethan D. Dean, who proved to me on the basis of satisfactory evidence to be the man whose name is subscribed on the within instrument, and acknowledged to me that he executed the same in his authorized capacity, and that by his autograph on the statement, the man executed the instrument. So, really, it's not complicated at all. But if you don't know, then you have confusion, and so that's what we're trying to do. So,
exactly. We'll never know unless we sit down and talk about it.
Right, because some things that are just, like so ingrained with me, might slip by, and I don't get the footnote in there where you need to make a change or whatnot. And I don't know. I tried to stay away from highlighting because I was afraid people would just leave the highlighting in as they made their changes, or I don't know. I just got an awful lot on my plate. That's what I know. I got an awful lot on my plate.
Don't bite off too much, Ethan.
Oh, only what the Lord will give me. I ask the Lord, give me more, Lord. Whatever you need me to do, Lord, I'm ready. And fill me with wisdom of the ages. I didn't get here without God. There's no way. All these things I've done. That's not a task of a average man, a simple man, a tradesman, a businessman. Through everything that I've done, all this little short time. So we're here to do God's work, and God is not happy. God is not happy. His people are enslaved the world over, murdering the most precious of life, the most defenseless of life before its first breath. God is not happy. And he keeps telling me what I need to do. Keeps sending me angels. And now, bringing me warriors. I haven't been able to get men to stand with me. I haven't been able to get men to visit with me. I can't hardly get a thumbs up or a comment because people are like, oh, they're gonna come and get me. They're gonna, it's like, come on, be an American. Get sheriffs worried about being arrested by FBI. Got no authority. Sheriff's got the authority. So we're letting the sheriffs know we got their back. We got their back. And we are going to unslave Michigan. And as we're enslaving Michigan, the path forward will have been established. And all those people who never wanted to talk to me are going to want to be talked to me when I'm going to be dealing with one of the heaviest loads of my life. So this is why I'm taking the time right now and in a short period of time to keep talking. Because somebody else is going to have to take this over for me. The stuff that I've been teaching, some of this stuff nobody else is teaching. How to put your vehicle into private. How to create a notice of liability and what to do with it and how to stand on it. Who else is teaching that, Josh Eddy? Anybody?
Well, I'll tell you what, you are. And the fact, listen, people got to understand that there's a reason that prosecutor in your county just up and left. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Just up and left. You what did you do, Ethan?
Ordered his arrest.
Suddenly he ain't prosecutor no more. That's a little bit funny. I mean, they don't usually just quit like that out of the blue, do they? I mean, was he up for,
I think he was
get promoted?
I think he was in his third term. And he was the lead. He was the prosecutor. He was the lead. He was the county prosecutor.
Awful strange that just suddenly he ain't there no more. I mean, was there another
Well, yeah. What's strange is that the sheriff didn't arrest him. And and hey, and I figured something else out, right? Connecting the dots. Right. You see, why did the FBI apparently concoct this whole plan rather than just come after me? Oh, because I spent well over 2 hours in the lobby of the sheriff's department with a stack of papers about this thick, 47 states' constitutions, and with a stack of indictments about yay thick, equally as thick, and an order for arrest with a lot of very high profile names on there. And at first, the jail sergeant who was introduced to me as the undersheriff said, no. And I explained a little bit more to him. And when it was time, he puts his hands out like this, and I'm handing the state's constitutions. He says, you're going to leave those with me? I said something to the effect, you're going to need them. Yeah, I'm leaving them with you. So I did all this under their surveillance, their audio, video. So I would imagine the FBI, maybe the best bar attorneys, they listen in and they go, oh boy, we're not going to be able to trick this boy into our courts. And Gretchen is lost in a higher court. We're going to have to concoct something up. So see,
you what concoct shit? You got the truth. They are concocting shit.
So it's no secret that I'm upset with Gretchen. There's no secret. I'm quite upset with her. We have all these free men and women in prison over all this stuff. When I was a slave, and I thought, hey, visual, measurable, repeatable proof that marijuana is an amazing natural God-given plant for mankind, right? Why is it criminalized? And why does the DEA have it classified in Schedule 1, zero medicinal value, high propensity for abuse? And then they go around and make Marinol from marijuana and make it a Schedule 3 drug. It's like, give me a break. And then when I present this to them, they decide to throw me in jail and invest $1.8 billion to try and find a way to do it. And after 2 years, and they know their study's failing, the patent office examiner for my case all of a sudden starts interfering in my case. And ultimately, November of last year, before November, I get a denial. And then I fight the patent office and I win my patent. Then I hold court with the patent office and I win in court. I beat them twice. So bring it on. They can't touch it, you see. It's when you learn this and you stand in it and you use your rights when you've been trespassed upon, especially by your servants, they can't refute it and they lose in court. And they weren't trained in law school that you can do that. But we do it. Trying to wake them up. Bar holders in Michigan, turn in your cards. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm ready to throw this. I'm ready to throw this through the system up here. And start putting these people accountable, man. There's a statement from or a paragraph that I think, or maybe a couple of them that I think would be pretty good to add into the notice of liability whenever I serve it, or when I hold court, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
No. When you hold court, you come in under that one that's in the notice of liability. That's extremely powerful. Or not. But you got all power, and that applies to you, and it's very well written, and it's very powerful. And you don't have to go and educate them about everything. You're entering court. Okay? You're setting your jurisdiction. You are the highest authority. You are the affiant. you have established court. You are entering court and you are making claims. That's what that's about. Then you're going to get into your testimony. I'll work with you on it, Josh. Let's talk about that meeting this morning. Can you believe how clueless that man was?
No, I can believe he was. I can believe he was foolish like that, but I can't believe how ignorant the man was. I can't believe that that he's even employed. I mean, but then again, maybe now we know why. They're there to begin with is because they are all needing trained. You know what I'm saying? They think they know their job, but they don't know anything. They don't even know what they're really doing. They don't even know what they
Are you deleting or are you banning this love face?
Oh, it's coming back. I was reporting and I was removing. So here.
Get him, Josh. Well, I had some information passed my way today that I haven't verified. It's my understanding one of those garrison commanders that was in my court is a brigadier general. Did you catch that, Eddie?
I'm sorry, I'm working. Say it again, please.
I got some information today that I haven't verified. You see, when I sent that to Camp Grayling, I addressed garrison commanders because that's how I found them. Their name and garrison commander. So that's how I addressed it. And one of the fellows that did a little digging tells me that one of them is a brigadier general.
Okay. Yeah, that's the guy we were talking to, wasn't it? Or
no, that was probably no, he was I don't know what he was, sergeant major or I'm really not sure. Yeah, we got our...
Look at that again. Those are so weird. I don't know what they are.
No major.
Okay, there we go. I got them all out finally.
All right.
So yeah, he was a brigadier, major, general. What?
One of the ones addressed is maybe a brigadier general.
Oh, okay.
And the fellow that we were talking to today was a much lower level.
Oh, okay.
We might have been talking about his boss.
Exactly. Yeah, he didn't know. I'll tell you what, he's going to go to that party, though. He went to that party, and I guarantee you, he was like, so I sat on the phone for an hour and a half with somebody, and I literally could not get off the phone with this man.
I didn't excuse him.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. With Nothing.
Exactly.
Susan says, "Who's your daddy, Major?" Daddy's home. Got to get this house cleaned up.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yep, Daddy's home. And what a mess. But we got it. It's not all that complicated. Once you get out of the minutia of the assumptions and presumptions. So right now, see, I've been talking with many sheriffs. So I've been able to get an understanding about a lot of things, the situations that they're dealing with, the advice that they've been getting, the training that they've had. And so it's just a matter of speaking the truth and getting the ear. And so that's what we're doing. So
exactly.
The boys, hey, my men, our men, the people's men, right? But hey, when I say my boys, like the Cowboys, remember? All the men, come on, boys. I mean, that's not an insult in any shape or form. That's really quite a compliment, That's camaraderie. My men, my soldiers, our soldiers. One drove halfway across the state or all the way across the state. Another one came from another state. And have that meeting. We got men, and the numbers are growing, and we got knowledge, and we're going to do this powerfully and peacefully and lawfully, and we're not going to abolish or destroy. We're going to reform and some destruction because it's needed. Now I've done a lot of things over the years. Built new houses right from the ground up. Been around so long, had to go back and do some demolition and fix them on up. Kitchen got outdated. Tree fell on the roof. Just go in there, just destroy that damage and build it up like new or better. That's all we got to do with our government.
Exactly. Got to teach them, got to train them, got to all the way up.
Yep, we'll hold them accountable. Yep. So we know where the grand juries come from. We got that in your Michigan sheriff explained 1, 2, 3, 4. That was a lot of uncommon knowledge, wasn't it, Josh Eddy?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I mean, that was like jam packed.
I'm still. Well, listen. I still put my foot in my mouth, and put myself in their jurisdiction because I don't know any better, because it's uncommon knowledge.
Hey, we got a visitor from Austria. How's the weather in Austria? I got snow here. How's your weather out there, Josh?
It's 33 degrees, foggy. Not doing too bad.
Right on. All right, did I cover everything I said we were going to cover, or was there anything else we wanted to talk about this evening? Anybody in chat got anything you want to know before we sign off? And I don't have to go. That's all I got to do. It's all I got to do. But at some point, I got to get off my feet. for a minute.
You know, rest.
Yeah, if I need a tall bar stool for my studio here.
Right. Well, if you haven't went and looked at that document that the affidavit mamas and everybody, David Jose and all them created, that notice is what it is. It's a notice. You can find it on Telegram. Check it out. Ethan, I sent it to you in your email. So if if you check your email after you get off here, take a look at it when you're sitting down or whatever, and read that. There's some really good points in there. And some really good knowledge that everybody needs to know, and I think we should probably read it here next time you do a live or something. So
yeah, so it's like springtime in Austria. That's nice. Yeah, director's chair. All right, well, I love y'all. We're breaking the chain. And the bar is in every common law country, so this is going to go a long way. It's going to go a long, long, long way.
Everybody, everybody, please, share the information with your friends. And talk to them about it.
And just a short prayer. Heavenly Father, please bring peace and harmony through strength and power. Through you, we'll do your work and restore this existence to the heaven on earth in the golden age that you would have it, and we will crush this evil, nefarious, wicked entities and energies to utter destruction so that it can never reroot, never regrow, never get hold ever again. By God, amen.
Amen,
Love
brother.
you all.
Be safe, Ethan.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Keep tuned. We just pour out uncommon knowledge here. Share, share, share. Oh, we got to overcome the media. So these videos that you know are awesome, please, in your contacts, all your social media, your telephone contacts, your email contacts, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, because the media is not going to put it out there. And tell people, say, when you have time, and please make time and share, share, share. All right? I'll take a quick look at the comments here. All right. Sweet dreams, Susan. I'm trying to do the good work. I'm part of a movement called Trevor Evolution. I will share it with them. Right on. May God light your path, bring hope and restoring justice and liberty. He is. How can I get in contact with you? In the description of all the videos.
It's not on this one.
Oh, no, I have to put it in. So when I go live like this, sometimes I don't fill in the description or completely fill it in. This one, I didn't put anything in. And then after, I don't know, it takes about an hour after it ends, it allows me to go in and edit. So it's got to like settle in the system or something like that. But in any of the previous, hit subscribe. Okay, hit subscribe. And in any of my previous videos, oralhealthwithcannabis.com. Copy and paste that into DuckDuckGo. Google doesn't want to take you there. For me, it just closes the page. So just copy, paste it into DuckDuckGo. From there, you can send me an email. I got to start putting my Telegram. Well, actually, no, because really, like I said, everybody's going to be wanting to talk with me real soon, and my responsibilities are exponentially accelerating. So, Josh Eddy just put it in there. Oral health with cannabis. There you go. Otmar, I don't know how to pronounce your name, dear, or sir. I'm not. Yeah, is that a man's name or a woman's name, Josh? Do you know? Otmar from Austria?
I don't know. I can't see anything about her.
Yeah, well, with Susan, we were wondering when she said she didn't have a wife. Remember?
All right, brother.
Hey, I love you all. All right. Sweet dreams. Merry Christmas. I'll be back before then.
All right, Ethan, be safe, brother. Much love.
Right on. Thanks, Josh. Bye-bye.